after a year of couple of years of fellowship in India, if there is an opportunity to get do a fellowship, do an international fellowship, I definitely think it's worth a shot, even a year or two, because you gain a totally different perspective.
So you are in PJ in the spine unit for some time, like 2 years. So most of the procedures, complex procedures that are being done, you would have been exposed there. And you had 6 months of exclusive spine fellowship as well in Sun City. Is there any difference between PJ and Sun City, or how do you think after registrarship in a central institute in a particular unit, do you think spine fellowship is needed? And what made you go abroad as well? Like, was it a search for excellence, or were you doing US only just to get into US? So, what was the thought process? There are two questions, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. No, for the senior residency, I had a little more exposure to spine, but it was not exclusively spine. There were spine consultants, and there were actually fellows too, who are more like senior registrars at that point. So it's more of it's a longer rotations through spine units rather than an exclusive spine, program or training. So that's why I definitely did feel that even after a couple of years of registrarship, it is reasonable for one to, if you wish to practice ahead as a specialist, which is a scenario in for most people in today's world. So I do think that it is reasonable to have at least a year's fellowship beyond that. I actually the initial plan was with the initial fellowship at Sancheti, there was a much better opportunity to be exposed to deformities. But as I said, in my case, just during the course of my fellowship, which was for a year, I ranked at the FNB. So Ganga Hospital being a much bigger center, so I moved. I shifted at the end of 6 months itself to the program, which definitely, as I know, the fellowship at Ganga Hospital during my this thing, I had an exposure of scrubbing up for more than 600 cases every year. So it's for 2 years. So that's a huge volume that you get involved in degenerative deformity. So that definitely is a huge experience, especially in spine surgery. To my knowledge, rather than doing the cases, being exposed to the complications is one thing that is necessary for any part of training. So that way it definitely helped. And as I said, even during my initial days, I was aspiring to move to North America for further up in career. But that was the reason I did my licensing exams. As I said, things you need to always have plan Bs based on how things go as a family, and the opportunities to come up. So that part is going to be different despite the various decisions that you make. So but otherwise, there is a huge I do believe that the fellowships abroad are totally differently structured as compared to the fellowships here in India, national fellowships. There are different things to look for in the national fellowships, and there are definitely different perspectives that you gain from fellowships abroad, and that definitely shapes the career significantly. So I don't think even after a couple of years of fellowship in India, if there is an opportunity to get do a fellowship, do an international fellowship, I definitely think it's worth a shot, even a year or two, because you gain a totally different perspective.
Thank you, sir. So, even after registrarship in a central institute, when you do a dedicated fellowship in a subspecialty, you get exposed to more number of cases. And even when you do a fellowship in India, if you get a chance abroad, it changes your perspective and gives you a better look. And the important point to summarize here is we should also consider the family situations we are in, and always should have a plan B.